Whenever the people need a hero, we shall provide him. Those are the words of Albert Pike, 33rd degree Freemason, just like Russell Brand, who is controlled opposition. So they provide the hero because, remember, it's all about the Hegelian dialectic, problem, reaction, solution. And to do that, you need to control both sides, as Vladimir Lenin said. The best way to control the opposition is to lead it ourselves. So what they do is they buy people out, right? The luminaries of the world, they allow people to come to them by showing them, their capacity for sort of transcendent thought. And so therefore they say, hey, do you want to have a look at the real wisdom traditions on this planet? Do you want to have a look at the real education system that you should have received when you were a teenager or when you were a kid? And they bring them into that tradition. And of course, in doing so, they buy you out because they say, well, now you just want secrecy. And so then you'll begin to understand what this 33 business is all really about. Then you begin to understand what all of these like occult symbols mean, just hidden symbols. That's what occult means. And so you've got people, like, more to the point of this video, like Russell Brand, people like Donald Trump, people like Barack Obama, right? All these people, for a certain population, are seen as heroes. And so they've got someone for the masses to believe in, which placates and pacifies everyone. Even people like Tucker Carlson, right? He's on Fox News. That should be enough to ring some alarm bells for people, right? How do you get onto Fox News if you're a genuine opposition, right? The mainstream media is the fake stream media. Anything that goes on there is because they want it to be on there, right? Otherwise, it's not going to be there. Why is someone like Dr. Stefan Lanka, who's been telling the truth from the outset, of the latest scandemic, about the real nature, he is what you would call a VIROL OGIST. I can't say it because of censorship. He's been telling you the truth about what I'm calling monsters for ages now, but that's not going to get anywhere near the mainstream media because that actually cuts to the chase. It sort of like dispels the myth, the illusion that they want you to be in this pantomime, right? They want you to be the leading role in the pantomime, right? It's like the Truman Show, but you are the true man, right? You need to awaken from the illusion that the sorcerers have placed over the minds of the masses. And so if they can't control you, like if they can't lure you into their mystery traditions, like they have done with people like Russell Brand, like they have done with so many celebrities, what they do is, to control you, they will therefore infiltrate your group instead. So someone like Alex Jones, for example, who I don't think is actually someone who is, controlled the position in the sense that he is accomplice. I think he is controlled the position in the sense that he would have certain people come onto his show to spoon feed misinformation and to misguide people who are actually being inspired by a genuine movement towards something different. Instead of, just if you can't infiltrate, you would therefore smear and slander. And of course, some people have done a good job at them doing it for themselves, such as like coming out with all sorts of reptilian stuff, which sounds all very crazy, especially to the sleeping masses. So someone like David Icke, who is going to get slandered to fuck, right? As is someone like Jeremy Corbyn, right? That, someone who actually can see what's really happening behind the scenes with these Zionists, right, who hide behind the Green Movement, and they also hide behind, that's anti-Semitic, that's anti-Semitic. They hide behind all of these labels, right? You can't attack anything Jewish. But, people like Hitler believed in a Jewish conspiracy, and he was being manipulated, and he was being, he's a psychopath, but he was brought into this system to be used as a pawn, right? And then they're going to attack Germany, attack all these, because of course, like it's all based on psychopathy, right? People want to take a side, but you've got to understand the architecture of control. They control both sides. So people that we see in the public eye are lower level, right? They just front up a certain groupthink. And in terms of the Hitler stuff, we typically think of that as right wing, but actually this is a socialist organisation. He was democratically voted into power, just like Mao, right? Just like a lot of these people that we sort of even pin up as heroes, like Che Guevara. These people just get manipulated, right? And it's about time that we expose the method of the madness. So this is really just in a nutshell how they go about their business, right? First and foremost, they buy you out, right? And they lure you in because they know that you're going to be drawn into the mystery traditions, which we can talk about at length here on this channel. The most fascinating thing, really, when you understand the sort of science and spirituality behind Freemasonry, Rosicrucianism, Kabbalah, people just don't understand these things, and therefore they want to, like, this very much a Christian thing to demonize anything that they've been conditioned to demonize. But why would they demonize these traditions? It's because they want to keep it for themselves, right? So the first thing they do is they win you over by making you swear to secrecy. And now you're a part of the club, right? As George Carlin said, it's a big club and you ain't in it. And so like you're not going to speak out because there's a price to pay, and that price will be either death or a sacrifice of a loved one. And they know how to manipulate people. And this sounds all very extreme, especially if you're just coming across this for the first time. But just because something sounds outrageous, and it doesn't mean that it is impossible, right? All great truths begin as blasphemies, as George Bernard Shaw said. And as Arthur Schopenhauer said, all truth passes through 3 stages. First, it's ridiculed. Second, it's violently opposed. And third, it's accepted as self-evident. It's quickly becoming self-evident now, but that's why we're seeing so many of these sort of seemingly opposing narratives now find their way onto the mainstream media, because they want to control the opposition. They want to control, deep capture every single groupthink so that it can pacify us, placate us into inaction. But what we have to do is be proactive at this time. We need to come together as a people. We need to realise, like I keep saying, that we are the ones that have to change this world. There are no politicians or petitions required for us to actually build a post-capitalist society in which socialism is a foundation, shelter, energy, food and water. Those things should be decommodified, basic human rights. For me, that's where socialism ends. Now let's continue with a monetary system for the things that we actually want, like sparkly jumpers, right? Like I was going to say the roof over our head, but no, that's shelter, right? Those things should be human rights. Things like a car. If you want a car, should you have a right to that? No, you can earn these things. Do you want a t-shirt? You can earn that. You want to go on a holiday, but you can earn certain things, right? And then the socialist system should be more about the infrastructural things that we all share in common, right? Shelter, energy, food and water, and certain infrastructural things like roads, and just things that we would all get together around a table and agree on that we want to do this, we want to build this bridge, or we want to do whatever. But unfortunately, like all of that has been sort of like hidden away, and we don't really know where our money's going. It's being squandered, right? It's being wasted on these black projects, vanity projects, and just frankly, it's being stolen, right? So that is effectively the model of 21st century tax, or more so 20th century tax, right? They're going to make it compulsory, but 21st century tax is all based on being truly democratic, optional. And it needs to be your choice, right? So that's why New Earth.land is offering this optional alternative to what we're experiencing, this new world order. And we can call it New Earth, right? But we have to come together. I can't do this by myself. It has to be done with many, many people coming together. At least I'd say sort of 500,000 to 1 million people for us to do this on a small scale to begin with, to reclaim our land, and then to show people as an example, a flagship, proof of concept, that here is this co-housing operation that provides from its own doorstep shelter, energy, food and water through hydroponics, right? Through various systems and technologies that are all existing today. Nothing futuristic about it. The only thing that's futuristic or revolutionary is that we can come together to immunize ourselves as a collective against this sort of individuated, atomized greed that is a trait of human beings, but we're being played on that. We're being pulled on that string, unfortunately. So if we come together, we can immunize ourselves against all of the sort of infamously right-wing sort of traits that people tend to think of, especially the left wing. Anyway, it's just a quick video about how they go about their business. I'll see you in the next one.